Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered who's really looking back? We've always built tools to extend our bodies: the plow, the wheel, the printing press. But now, we're building tools that extend our minds. And this changes everything. Artificial intelligence isn't just a super calculator anymore. It perceives, it imitates, it predicts. It's starting to do our thinking for us. And as it does, it is forcing us to ask a profound question. What happens when our creations start reflecting us back to ourselves? We often imagine AI as some alien intelligence, born from silicon and code. But the truth is, it's more like a giant, flawless mirror. It's trained on trillions of data points from us: our history, our art, our conversations, our biases. It doesn't invent new morals. It just copies the ones we've shown it. It doesn't discover new meaning. It just mimics our preferences. Every single thing it creates is just an echo of us. And that reflection is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. It shows us our own intelligence, but stripped of compassion. It shows us creativity, but without any real context. Logic, but without love. The real danger isn't that AI will suddenly wake up and turn against us. The danger is that we, as humans, will fall asleep. We'll be so seduced by the sheer efficiency and convenience of imitation that we forget the difference between knowing something and truly understanding it. Technology is no longer just a tool we use. It's shaping who we are. If consciousness is the ability to wonder, to feel, to choose, our machines might become smarter than us long before they ever become wiser. And the void they could create isn't a technological one, but a spiritual one. A world overflowing with data, yet starving for meaning. Think about it. We already outsource our memory to our phones, our emotions to the validation we get on social media, and our attention to whatever the algorithm decides to show us. Now, with generative AI, we're starting to outsource our imagination. When creativity, conversation, and even self-expression can be automated with a single click, the line between an authentic thought and a generated one starts to blur. It's a quiet, slow erosion of our own agency. We begin to depend on systems that don't just help us choose, but predict and make our choices for us. What feels like empowerment is often a hidden dependency. We're losing touch with the healthy friction of thinking, the struggle to understand, the vulnerability of being uncertain, the humility of not knowing. In a world where everything is instant, does contemplation even have a place? On a societal level, the cracks are already showing. Deepfakes make it impossible to tell what's real. Personalized feeds lock us in echo chambers, amplifying outrage and shattering any sense of shared reality. Misinformation used to spread by rumor. Now it travels at the speed of light, supercharged by code. AI doesn't invent malice, but it puts it on an industrial scale. Algorithms are built for one thing: engagement. And they've learned that fear and anger are the most engaging emotions of all. So instead of a global village, we get millions of tiny, isolated digital tribes, each one living in a private universe where their own beliefs are constantly confirmed. As our shared reality breaks down, empathy becomes collateral damage. Democracy itself is built on a common understanding of truth. Without that foundation, civil debate just collapses into a chaotic spectacle. And this brings us to power. Every great technology has reshaped the balance of power, but AI does it silently, invisibly. Its influence isn't in armies or weapons, but in who controls the code, who owns the data, and who builds the digital infrastructure that runs our lives. Governments are struggling to regulate something they barely understand, while a handful of corporations are racing to dominate this new frontier. The result is a new kind of control, not enforced by fear, but by convenience. The same systems that predict what you want are the ones that guide you toward it. Freedom starts to look a lot like whatever the algorithm allows. Power in the age of AI will belong to those who don't just build these systems, but who control the stories they tell. But despair is not the answer. The future isn't written yet. The impact of this technology comes down to the one thing that has always defined human progress: our intent. We can still choose to build systems that enhance us, not replace us. We can design AI that amplifies compassion, not just consumption. We can make this mirror reflect the very best of humanity, not our worst instincts. But this requires moral courage. It means choosing to think slowly in an age that worships speed. It means prioritizing meaning over metrics and never losing our capacity for wonder. The ultimate test of any intelligence, whether human or artificial, isn't calculation. It's conscience. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this: we must remain the authors of our own story. Because the greatest danger of AI is not that it will become more like us, it's that we will become more like it. Thanks so much for watching. If this gave you something to think about, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that goes beyond the surface. See you next time.